It's that time of year again, sometimes warm, sometimes cold. Not to mention the snow.
So in this episode, sometimes we'll be inside and then other times we'll be outside.
I guess we can call this one the ins and outs of my North End.
Ins and outs, I like that.
Hey Joe, remember this location?
I sure do, Richie. I also remember it was a lot warmer that day. You see this building here? This here used to be the Mather Elliott House, built in 1677 by Increase Mather. Many media outlets filmed outside this house, but nobody is going to show you the secrets of the cellar, which I'm going to tell you. Supposedly, through the years, what the talk of the town was that Paul Revere was down here forging his silver in this basement. He must have forged over here, and there was a chimney that was blocked up where all the smoke went out. And this is a little known fact about this basement in the North End. There's also, on the other side, there's another cove area. We'll take a look at that. There's another cove area. Supposedly, Paul Revere did his work over here. I guess they had an oven here or something. And the same thing, chimney was over there. It's been blocked up through the years to make walkway in the hallway. And that's the story about this basement. Now, this beam here holds up the middle of the building. This beam was here when Paul Revere was down here working. He must have passed by this here, God knows how many times. But this is the original beam. As you can see the structure over here, how it's all interlocked. This beam here is probably as old as the North End itself.
We're here in front of a North End favorite, the Old North Church. We can spend forever talking about this place.
But today's story is the restoration of the crypt.
Hello, welcome down to the crypt at Old North Church. My name is Julius James and I am the visitor experience manager down here. So we'll be taking a walk through the crypts, talk about some of these tombs and some projects and some things that have been going on down here in the last year. This here is a very interesting tomb. It is the final resting place of Samuel Nicholson, the first commander of the USS Constitution, Old Ironsides we know her by. She's still parked over in Charlestown. This is still kind of a sacred space for military, and all the coinage on here has been dropped off by sailors or other military folks. Some nickels on there because of the name Nicholson, but a lot of coins just dropped as a sign of respect, something that sailors, men and women alike, seem to do when they come and visit this individual. There was a 9-month project here. Part of it, as you could see, was dropping this floor. It was part one of a project to make this fully accessible for those who need to bring wheelchairs in. Another main part of this project was restoring the doors of the tombs. They removed 15 doors like this. The doors were taken up to an expert to restore them and clean them up and sand and stain and make them look like they were originally. This tomb here is actually the open tomb. This would have been opened probably in the 1800s at some point to try and make we believe, a prayer space down here. Maybe just a spot for people to come down and have a moment with their loved ones or say a prayer down here underneath the church. Behind that wall, we believe, are probably still some interred folks in coffins. Some of these would have between 10 and 20 or 10 and even maybe 30 coffins in some of them. If you see the animation down there, they would be horizontally stacked like that. Largest on the bottom and smaller on the top. There'd be a high number of child and infant coffins amongst the tombs down here due to the high rate of childhood mortality back in the 18th and early 19th centuries. Up on the corner is the final resting place of a Major John Pitcairn, the Battle of Bunker Hill. Famously, Pitcairn is wounded and received here at the church a battlefield hospital. Pitcairn died within a few days and would have been interred here. It was an Anglican church, so it also would have been kind of a safe place for British regulars to inter some of their dead after these battles because it was the King's Church at the time. Well, thank you for coming down into the crypts with us here at Old North Church. Come and visit. All funds that come into the church go right to the preservation of the building and to educational programming. It's very active, and we're happy to have all comers.
This is Alexandra Salmon. She's an author and podcast host.
That's right, Richie. And I live here too.
Do you shop here?
Absolutely. Check this out.
You have to get off Hanover Street every once in a while and check out some of these side streets. This is my favorite street to shop on.
Hi.
Hey, Nikki.
How are you?
Oh, good to see you.
See you.
This is Nikki Vandera. She's the founder of Project Polly. Tell me how you got started.
We started out feeding people. We saw a great need. We started cooking sauce, cooking pasta. We made a video. It was Polly from Goodfellas slicing the garlic with a razor blade. We called it Project Polly as a joke. We ended up feeding about 3,500 families, and we still haven't stopped. So now we work with 32 different charitable organizations, and the way we do it is with our Project Polly tomato hats. So when people come into our shops, we have this beautiful menu that kind of gives a little synopsis of all of the colors and all of the organizations that they're associated with. Also, when you receive your Project Polly hat, there's a little tag with a QR that's gonna lead directly to the organization in which the hat represents. We kind of think of the hat as the beginning of the relationship that people have with these organizations. Our hope is that they're talking about them when they're asked why there's a tomato on their head. And most of these organizations, they're small. They're so deserving of their name being said and people knowing about them.
I like this one.
20% of the entire hat goes to the organization itself. Also, each hat is made here in Massachusetts, one by one with wool thread, which is really pretty cool. So when we pack up one of your beanies, each one goes into this metallic reusable sleeve with a beautiful sticker for your water bottle or cooler, and then goes into one of our Project Polly pizza boxes to really give your pal a unique gift.
I really like these.
So there's an amazing company called Little Words Project, and the founder did these bracelets for us specifically in the North End. This is the only place they're sold. They have a little number on them. So what you want to do is you want to register it and you say a little bit about yourself, and when you're done with the bracelet you pass it on to your friend, and then they do the same. And being able to kind of track the life of this bracelet and the positivity around it is so cool, and we're so proud to have these here.
I love these towels.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with them. This is our 7 Fishes towel. I think for most Italian Americans, we're accustomed to doing a beautiful 7 fish meal on Christmas Eve. So these are an artist collaboration with us and Clementine Regan. Clementine also did our windows and our Sopranos posters. We're the only people that have these, so we're pretty lucky.
You sell food here too?
Well, yes and no. We wanted to bring in some kind of newer companies that are doing some interesting things, like Graza olive oil with the screw cap, Bianco tomatoes. But one of the coolest things over here is gonna be these Etrona candles. This family has been making food candles for 150 years. Each one of them is made and hand painted. They're so beautiful, so special, and so unique. We have these amazing bread lights that are made from real bread. The artist actually puts all of the ingredients for the bread itself on the box, which is wild.
Nikki, thanks so much for having us here.
So happy to have you come and visit us, and we hope that you come back soon.
Well, this is the last show for 2023, and it's been quite a season.
But there's a lot more stories to tell, and we'll see you in 2024.
And remember, keep watching My North End on YouTube.
It's free!